everybody. It seems really low. Hello? 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 Oh no. That's really annoying. Anyway. Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Drunkards and Dragons. Just so we roll some dice, have some drinks, and try not to die to either of those things. Last week, after the final bit of the confrontation between Wallace and Dragnir and the rest of the party, they went back to Aria and enlisted the aid of Wilhelm and his crew and his airship to fly back to Vanden and, with Maria's newly developed powers, hopefully unfreeze the city. When they arrived there, she was able to close the portal, but only after some emotional prompting from seeing Ingrid was she able to unfreeze the city entirely. Catching King Rylan up to speed, and finally spending an actual night in their keep that had been promised to them so long ago, the party discussed their next plans and where to go from there, and that's where we're at now.
What did we decide on? I don't remember.
That we were going to take the airship to Fallguard and then get sailors there to crew our unfolding boat.
Yes, that's right.
To the area past Fallguard.
To the area far past anything. Where you've decided to sail was the edge of the map, as well as an area sailors don't go past, which is why there's not much past there on any map.
Do we have access to the vault, or is it still...
Yeah.
Okay.
You have full access to your keep amenities. It will take time to furnish it and kind of turn the rooms available to you into what you want them to be. Time and a considerable amount of coin. But you have the blueprints.
Well, I'm going to hire some sort of librarian person who's going to go out and acquire things for me.
Okay. That'll definitely take time to do so.
That's fine.
Hello! Oh, there you go. For some reason the volumizer was limited. Alright, hopefully you can hear us a little better now. So the process of hiring people and figuring out who you want to work for you and gathering those resources will take several months. A few weeks to get a base and crew down, or employment staff down, and deciding on a monthly wage for them.
Okay.
In my spare time, I move things into the vault.
Okay.
So I can
Same.
carry more things later.
Okay. How much money do you leave behind and items do you leave behind?
A lot.
I'm looking at my monies. Considering we have easier access to get here, let's see, I'm leaving my dwarf shield and swashbuckler's hat as my trophies. The mirror from Goln, my whitewood bow, the key to Hane's house for whatever reason I have it. We were also carrying around 4 paintings and dragon statues, so I'm leaving those in the vault. Probably leaving my 15,000 plus gold and 2,300 plus platinum, which will leave me with a chunk of gold that I don't have to do anything about. And then all of the random spider stuff I had from back in the day, I'm leaving that in the vaults, as well as the Mask of Twisted Reflection. Because that thing's scary and dangerous.
Okay.
So it's kind of just a trophy room, or like equipment storage of things I don't want other people to touch.
Well, we have one vault, so you all have to share it.
Well, I mean like normal people.
Oh, okay.
We can't let the Mask of Twisted Reflection get into the wrong hands. So it's in the vault. As well as my trophies.
Okay.
That's all I put in there.
What about you guys?
I have a shit ton of gemstones. Like 8, 12, 16, 19, like 23 gemstones that I'm putting into the vault that I have written down here.
Okay.
That rod that I found, or not a rod, but the winged staff,
Okay.
and like 15,000 gold or something, along with 3,040 pieces of platinum.
Okay.
I also need to go to the castle stables to check on Patches and pay the guy for taking care of her.
Okay.
Oh, actually, technically,
Oh.
Patches was frozen, so he technically hasn't been taking care of her for a month.
Yeah. This is not good. You can know that. That tastes really bad.
Sir,
Oh, ugh.
vodka's delicious.
That's not good.
There, so for your tastes, you probably put too much in.
That was scathing. This is immediately too much vodka.
Refreshing.
You be careful with that.
I ain't going anywhere tonight. Party.
Okay.
Sleep like a baby.
Edwin, what are you leaving behind, if anything?
I have it written down.
I need to know.
I would like to go visit her though.
Okay.
The gold, the platinum, and the gems that I got from the last dragon encounter, and all of the pieces of the dragon that I harvested off of him.
Okay.
I'm leaving all in there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Can we each have our own chest with our names on it for our gold and stuff?
If you purchase them, sure.
I would like to purchase a chest with my name on it.
Okay. Well, getting something crafted will take a few days.
I'll have a few days. I'll do it later when I come back.
Okay.
My stuff is all dumped in the corner,
Haphazardly.
unceremoniously.
I may or may not have misused my Big B's hand to make it rain.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
Alexia,
chucking coins.
while you pull the mirror out and kind of situate it in the corner, and you're strong enough to do it, it just takes a little bit of time to do so.
Mary Poppins with her lamp coming out of her little back.
You catch a glimpse of it, and you see Ithlin and Varys just standing there. And you take a quick glance behind you, and there's no one there in the room at the time. And then you see out of the shadows, wearing the hood, Wallace comes out and pulls his hood back down and
Oh no.
looks to them both and says, "Keep leading me there."
Ah! The fuck are you guys doing with Lawless?
You've done good in making sure I can follow you.
Ah! You're all against me.
That doesn't sound like Barris.
Bastard.
You hear Varys say she has no idea. And the mirror kind of ripples and it's just a mirror again.
I firmly grasp onto my scimitar as if to pull it out, but I stop myself.
Okay.
I do not slay them today.
Good luck with that.
So what would you like to do?
Visit Patches.
Okay.
I would like to go to the guards' barracks,
Okay.
specifically looking for the guard captain.
Okay. You're informed by some of the rank and file soldiers there that currently he's out doing patrol and getting everything in order given the time lapse.
I see. Well then, if I can't talk directly to the captain, then I'll just speak to the guards.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you all know of an opportunity that might be quite lucrative for you bunch. See, I happen to be a guest at the keep that the Champion of Vanden has recently been given, and we currently have a quest that we're about to leave on, and we are going to be leaving quite a bit of valuable things in the fortress, but we don't have anyone to make sure that petty thieves don't just go in there and steal all of our hard-earned gold. We want to know if any of the guards would be interested in picking up some extra work and guarding our keep for us around the clock.
And what would the wage be?
That depends on how much you guys, or how your payment would be. Would you want to be paid per day or monthly, weekly?
Monthly is fine.
Monthly's fine. Let me see. About 30-day months. Say it's about 300 gold a month.
Each?
For each guard, yes.
I will certainly take it up with him. And he writes down a bunch of notes about the conversation.
Good.
So, my first priority is to the king. I swore an oath, but
Of course, if you just ever have any free time.
if we are permitted, I will happily guard your home.
Wonderful.
Apparently we're giving them a lot of money.
I disappear into the shadows and then go back to our keep. And I begin looking for a place I shall mark as mine.
Okay.
Are you gonna pee on me?
No? Do some magic stuff to it later though.
So there's a basement level and 2 stories above that as well. And when you first enter the keep, there's a large open area for entertaining guests or just being the parlor in general. The staircase leads up both sides and then continues around to a kind of like a balcony upstairs area. Below here there are 4 rooms along this wall. They're in this middle area, and then above that there are also 4 other rooms. As well as you go out the back entrance, and there's this large courtyard there, just empty, nothing there at all. And the safe is located in the basement.
I'm just gonna chill out in one of the ground level rooms.
Okay.
Like just in the corner, like up against the wall, just
Okay.
sleeping.
More can be built later. There is stables here already. as for building other rooms or extending rooms, it's entirely possible.
Cool.
So that's what Varys is doing, and you're visiting Patches. You'll be there in a second. What are you doing, Nithlin?
Currently wandering around trying to decide where I should have my library. And I'm saddened by the fact that there's no large tower anywhere. So I want it up in a tower.
Build tower.
So I'm deciding where to build my tower.
Okay. Okay. So you head outside the gate where the stables are, and the men you originally bought Patches from, and you see the little boy he has employed there as his apprentice, just brushing all the horses, and when he sees you, he goes, "Alexia, it's been a really long time." Well, it's only been a few days, but apparently it's been a long time.
Yes. Where's Patches?
Yes. He's over here.
Alright, I go to where he points, and I just... I pet my horse.
Okay.
Touch heads.
Okay.
Feed him an apple. Or something. A carrot. Whatever's nearby.
Kind of like nuzzles against your face.
And he's still at, like, the castle stables, right?
No, he's in the outside stables.
Like at the keep stables?
No,
Or like outside the city stables?
Outside the city, yeah. Where all the horses are that you originally bought.
Okay. I'd like to inquire about having Patches moved to the keep stables and hiring someone to be at the keep to feed him and take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that would be like talking to the little boy to be like, "Where's your master?"
It depends how you want to do it. If you're trying to hire the people who run this stable, you can do that. But like I said, signing up employment and getting people who will go there, and that will take some time.
Is it the guy who sold me Patches? That
Mm-hmm. He's been taking care of him, yeah.
Alright, I asked the little boy, "Where's your master?"
In town, getting supplies.
Very well. I spend time with Patches until he gets back.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna wait for a couple hours.
Okay.
You guys see anything else?
Apparently I have a few hours to kill, so I'm now doing that thing where people walk around and they're like making a square and they're like looking through it and I'm just kind of like, oh, and kind of like squat down and like look at the ground like, no, and just kind of like keep walking.
Okay.
I'm not an architect, don't judge me.
No, it's fine.
This would be the perfect place.
After you wait for a few hours, the master of the stables comes back, and he drops a bunch of bags of feed off of his shoulder, and has a few other bags strapped on his arms as well, and he's just carrying the food, and he kind of drops it on the ground and says, "Oh boy, come and take care of these." And he goes, "Oh, yes sir," and he runs up and kind of grabs one and almost topples over, picking one up, and starts running into the barn. And he sees you, and he goes, "Can I help you?"
I was wondering who has been taking care of my horse, specifically.
Well, the boy does it some days, I do it others. The rest of the story is taken care of. It's only been a few days since you were here.
I'm curious if you would be willing to part with the young lad so he could tend to my horse in the stables at my keep.
Do you want him to take care of all that for you? You know he's an apprentice for a reason.
I think he could handle it.
And as you said, he topples over with a bag and like falls on the ground.
It's adorable. Okay, so maybe he needs like a little wheelbarrow to help out. I mean, eventually we would have like other hands there to help him, but I feel like this young boy is working hard to support his family.
He's an orphan. I adopted him.
Okay, so I don't even know how to respond to that. I feel like I'm talking to the right person then to figure out if I can employ his services.
Well, I'll have to help him, and there'll be an extra trip throughout the day. It's not a short walk to your keep. How much are you willing to offer?
How much do you typically get paid per horse per day?
It's 50 silver pieces a month, but to go out of my day and take the extra trip and haul supplies there, and I'd say we're looking more like 20 gold a month.
Alright, I'll do you a solid 25 gold a month.
Plus expenses.
This guy. How much would expenses be?
Oh, another 10 gold should suffice for the whole month. And then there's my time, of course.
Oh, Jesus.
And the boys' time. Why don't we call it an even 50?
Even 40 gold a month.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh man. Oh, that's a 5.
Ooh.
55 for wasting my time.
$45 for trying to get every last piece of gold out of me.
I guess you can find someone else. Come along, boy. We got work to do.
Fine! I take Patches and go!
Okay.
Wouldn't it have been cheaper to just leave the horse there?
Shush.
Okay.
I want Patches at my keep.
Okay. So as you ride Patches through the city, children kind of chase after you, and you see people wave at you, and everyone knows who you are.
I take a moment to post wanted, help wanted posters in town
Okay.
for someone to care for my horse.
Okay.
Just go buy some orphans. That'd work.
Grab one of the kids following me. Let's go.
You're employed.
Mama!
I put on the help wanted posters 40 gold includes employment and supplies a month. And tell them to come to the hero, or the champion of Andon's keep to inquire
Okay.
about position.
Alright. So it's starting to get nightfall around this time.
Well, I've headed inside then.
Okay.
Do we have like food in there?
Just what you have on you.
Okay.
Employing cooks would also be an extra charge.
Yeah.
So, if you want maids or any of that stuff, like whatever you can think of can be arranged, but it's money and it adds to the budget every month.
Yeah.
Because this will come directly out of whoever decides to pay it or everyone's pouch every month.
Mm-hmm.
And it just depends how many people you want to hire. And then renovations as well will also cost extra. For the sake of ease, enlarging rooms or adding extra rooms will be 1,000 gold, and then to build another construct like a tower would be another 2,500 gold.
Okay.
Would it be like straight 2,500 if the tower is the library?
Yeah, because it'd be a construct. Adding a construct is a 2,500 gold piece process. You also have to find people to do that, as the ones that work for the king are no longer employed to do this specific job. So they have moved on, they finished their contract.
Were they people that lived in the town?
You don't know? You just know it was arranged to be built for you.
Well, I guess I'm gonna head inside and eat something then, I guess, if it's
Okay.
probably around that time of day.
Find a nice spot on the ground, as there's no furniture, to enjoy your food.
There's like a fireplace.
There's a fireplace, yes.
I light a fire.
No, with what?
Magic. 'Cause I'm a magic man.
You need wood, though.
I prestidigitation.
You can't
No
make
thanks.
wood.
I can make fire though.
You could, yes.
Got this old harp if you're looking for fire.
Yeah, Burn Varus' legendary harp.
It only had one use.
Yep.
One charge.
I'm just sleeping, dude.
Okay.
I'll go eat at the tavern and wait for someone to reply to my help wanted posting.
Okay.
Same day.
Okay. You wait the entire day and nobody replies.
I don't want to go back to that guy.
What's his price up to now?
Right? Alright, I eat at the tavern and then go back to the keep and sleep. Outside, under the stars, with my brilliant stallion patches.
Okay. When you bring Patches there, you bring him around back and he's just excited with all the open space and kind of just runs out freely for a while.
Aww. I can't take him away from this. Is he frolicking in the meadow?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, there's no, like, grass,
What a
but
good boy.
it's just a huge open courtyard.
I jump on him bareback and ride him around a little bit.
Varus. I have something for you real quick. There it is. Okay. So with your previous Arcana check, you do know control weather. But I'm going to say it'll be subsequential ones just to learn what this harp is capable of, given its legendary status. So you were able to kind of feel out the control weather song, the melody you need to play to activate that spell.
Song of Storms.
Bolero of Fire. Yeah.
Yes.
So you still have a few other spells to learn from it, but that's how we're gonna have you learn your spells from it.
Okay.
It's not what it says in the book, but I think it's more flavorful that way.
You want to play with him?
Well, you guys spend another night in your keep, and with nothing in it, and it's kind of drab and eerie with nothing in it. But you hear away from town, a good distance out, you kind of hear the countryside and crickets chirping and the wind just and kind of letting up.
Where's Maria been this whole time?
Do you know?
Did she kill Ingrid? Is she torturing her?
She has been unconscious since she melted the city, or the continent, rather.
Oh, dang.
So
did none of us, like, take her with?
the bears took her somewhere. That's all I know.
Varys, what'd you do with her?
I'm sleeping.
Do you secretly have Maria in there somewhere?
I don't know.
I just know one of you picked her up. That's all I know.
Oh, I do remember, like, sliding down to catch her before she fell.
Yeah.
Or, like, before
So maybe
she hit
you
the
put her
ground.
somewhere then.
Oh, shit. Where'd I put her? I do. Okay, so I did carry her up when they were talking to the king, and then I started talking to the dancers about the elf. Where she is now, I don't know.
Well,
I go out and look for her. She's just sleeping it off in the town square. It's fine.
you head to the town square as you kind of jolt awake. Realize you forgot something important.
It's like Home Alone when they're on the plane. Come
You run back to the town square and she is not there.
Oh no, she's gonna be so mad. I just left her there. I set out to look for her.
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, I can't do investigation to like look for her tracks or something?
You can do an intelligence check first.
Okay. Just straight intel.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Rough.
Man, neither dice
Straight
is
9?
doing
Nothing
anything.
else?
Yeah,
Do
straight
you not have a
9.
modifier?
Well, it was a 7. 9 is,
Oh,
is
okay.
with my
Gotcha.
modifier. Bad
Um,
dice roll today.
do you try and think about anyone Maria might know in town, but it's kind of fuzzy and
Her name is Ingrid.
you're not sure where Ingrid is either?
I have a key to the house though. I just have to go back to my vault, get it out, go to the house.
At this point, Alexia runs through the entryway and through the foyer. You hear that her boots on the stone just clap, 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 clap in the middle of the night.
Varys is sleeping.
You
I do hear it.
Oh,
I
no.
am angry that you disturbed the peace.
And you hear it, and you wait for a little bit, and it gets really quiet, and you close your eyes, go back to sleep, and you hear it again. As she runs back up the stairs.
Like, make a mental note that we might need to, like, have a place to go to the bathroom inside of the keep.
Alright, I get the key and hope that I can find my way back to the Dane's house.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Oh man. Alright, well, neither of them are doing very well, so. Investigation?
Mm-hmm.
13.
Total?
Yep.
It's been some time since you've been down this way.
No!
And every building kind of looks familiar.
That was the fear.
And you turn the corner and you realize, oh, you went the wrong way. That's not the way to the building.
Yeah,
at
but
all.
it's like, isn't it like partly destroyed?
Not on the outside.
Alright. How long would druid craft last? If I started like setting flowers down,
Oh, gosh.
so I didn't like get twisted around
At this
again?
point, you just have no idea where you're going. Period.
Damn it, okay.
You've been running around for a good solid 30 or 40 minutes inside the city.
I just start screaming her name.
Someone opens their shutters just, what is your problem? It's very late.
I'm looking for a young girl! She's 10, about yay high. She answers to Maria. She's very angry all of the time.
Can't say that I've seen her.
Alright. I'll go back to the keep.
Okay.
Defeated.
You hear the large, huge oak double doors open again.
I'm still sitting over by the fireplace. Turn around. Oh, back empty-handed, are we?
Not now, Evelyn.
Varys, you hear the sound of as the doors close.
I get up. I go and investigate to see what the hell is going on.
See Alexia kind of slightly sweaty and out of breath, just kind of leaning against the door.
What happened to you?
And they found it angrily. Just once, because that's a really thick door.
I feel like maybe you're upset. Perhaps you should go to bed. Stop making so much noise.
I was looking for Maria.
Maria? What do you mean looking for her? Is she not on the ship with the rest of the people?
Well, last I remember, she was in the town square with us, unconscious. And I left her there. Possibly.
I begin, like, basically sleepwalking towards the ship.
Okay, it'll take some time as you have to walk through the entire city outside. It's
Did they not fly it and park it over by our keep?
there's no hangar for it. It's
Obvious.
much larger than a normal ship.
There's no, like, open fields or anything nearby they could sit in?
Yeah, outside.
Is there, like, a way out of the city closer to the keep where they would be, like, just outside next to us?
No, they're at the castle gates.
After realizing I have to go very
That
far, I go back to Lexia. You know, now that I come to think of it,
This was all your fault, and you should.
I believe Wilhelm was there at one point, and he took her back to the ship. Something about studying her innate magical prowess overnight. Because now that she's unconscious, he can do all sorts of tests on her or something like that. And I was just like, I don't care, man. You do your thing.
Are you sure that's what happened?
100% sure that happened. Just as I said. So quit your worrying and go back to sleep.
I wasn't just well. I was asleep. I jolted awake.
Yeah.
Very well. I don't necessarily trust Varys, but
I'm not gonna insight check.
I don't know what else to do right now, so I'm just gonna go to bed.
I go back to my corner and go to sleep
Okay.
with a sense of accomplishment. My triumphant lie working.
Alright. Ethelyn, are you staying in the main room?
Yeah, I've got nothing better to do, so I'm just like
Okay.
hanging out.
Lexi, do you return to the field? It's getting a bit chilly at this point.
Yeah, I'm a wild woman. I'm used to sleeping in the outdoors.
Okay. You awake, Ethelyn, since you are nearest to it in the morning. Just after the sun comes up, it's still dusk. It's still casting kind of red glare across the city, and shadows are still very, very present. It's dawn, pretty much. I said dusk, I meant dawn. But you hear the large oaken doors just...
Like knocking on
Yeah.
it? I go and open them.
Okay. You kind of
You're dead.
push open the large door, and Ingrid is there.
Ugh, Ingrid. My favorite person.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Well, an old woman to catch her cold. Are you going to invite me in?
I mean, the doors are like wide open. I motion.
Okay. She kind of wraps her shawl around her shoulders and walks in.
Okay. Close the doors.
She kind of just like walks in and looks around. She goes, "It's a bit much, isn't it?"
You mean not enough?
Well, it is unfurnished. I suppose time will tell. So, what brings you here?
I came to discuss Maria.
Funny you should mention. My companions seem to believe that she's been misplaced.
Oh, for God.
Well, if by misplaced you mean left in the middle of the street, then yes.
Yes.
But I found her
I
and
was distracted.
I took her home. It's nothing to worry about. She's been with me.
Of course.
Ah, good.
The place I couldn't find.
But
There's light.
That's right.
I come bringing a warning about her powers.
Oh.
Yes. She has these strange scars on her body, and I do not know much about what she is or what she has become, but it's clear she has a vast magical amount of power that she did not have before.
Yeah.
And it would appear using too much of it is killing her.
Oh, shit. Oh, dang.
It would appear so.
I do not know what powers the Aether Mark possess or what she's truly capable of, but...
Is she finally admitting that Maria's an Aether Mark? Haha.
Yeah, not fair. I don't know what her capabilities are, but such power comes to the price, and it is possible it will turn on her one day, or consume her. I do not know what journey you are on and what it entails, and it's probably better that way. I'd like to live my last few days in peace, if you don't mind.
Well, I'm not her keeper, and I would not presume to make any choices for her. She is coming with us of her own free will, but I will say that I will do what I can to keep her safety in mind.
She's a child. Remember that. Such a burden should not be placed on her. She does not know what she's doing. She just knows that it feels what she must do. She will not listen to me, though. This much is clear, so... perhaps hearing it from you or Alexia may help.
What?
Perhaps.
I'm not even there.
Oh.
Why is she mentioning me?
We're like bros.
I'm not your bro. Bro?
Broskies.
Person.
Broheims.
No, you and Varys are betraying me. I don't trust either of you.
Because of magic mirror?
Yes!
I mean...
I'm very...
Ithlin,
so
probable. But Varys? Varys is like a good guy.
It's like a good guy. Secretly.
Maybe, who knows.
Not until we find your mysterious sweetheart. Then you're just gonna be like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. He's out there somewhere.
Yes, perhaps it might help, but as I've said, she's decided to come with us.
Well, I will do all I can to assist you. So do you need any artifacts examined, or... could probably still teach you a few things.
Well, thank you.
Is Ingrid volunteering to join our party?
She kind of turns her shawl around her neck again and flips it over her head and begins walking towards the door.
I go and open the door for her.
She nods at you and walks through it and continues down the road. You catch a glimpse of her kind of open this shadowy portal and just kind of like pop through it.
Mm-hmm. Go back to what I was doing.
Okay. Which was? Sleeping?
What time is it?
It's dawn, so it's about 6 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. I've rested as much as I need to, so.
You guys are definitely well rested. You've
Yeah.
had nothing but essentially one big long rest since you got here. So.
Yeah.
So it's not much, but it's home at this point, so.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just like hanging out, just doing whatever.
Okay. Another hour or so passes, and Lexia, you look up to Patches licking your face, and at some point he had laid down around you and provided warmth and kind of a pillow. And
That's what we do.
he just kind of like sits up and stretches and starts running around the courtyard again.
Alright. Well, I enter. I leave him be. I let him do his horsey thing.
Okay.
I enter the keep.
Okay.
And I ask if anyone's showed up to inquire about taking care of Patches.
No, but Ingrid was here.
What did she want?
The girl is with her.
What?
Yes, at her home.
Not with Wilhelm, as Varys led me to believe.
Oh no, he's a liar. I was there, I saw the whole thing.
I go back outside. I get a bucket of water. I go into Varys' room and I dump it on him.
In his room, he was in a corner somewhere.
I go into his corner
He's in the corner of one of the rooms.
and I dump it on him. I find Varys and I dump water.
Do you just
on
use
him.
the decanter, or do you actually like take the time
There's
to go
gotta be a
purchase
bucket somewhere. Oh,
Not
I
here.
gotta go purchase a bucket.
This is a new, unfurnished home. You have nothing but what you brought into it.
Yep, I use the decanter.
So one by one, you see her angrily kick open the doors
It's
until,
It's a great use of the decanter.
until you finally kick open the one that Varys is in, and he startles you awake immediately.
I have grievously misused my armor's ability to take on a different appearance, and it is me, except I'm not wearing armor. I'm wearing a purple robe, and like the collar and like just like going down or whatever where like it opens up is like leopard print and it's like really deep V, like super deep, like down to my belly button. I'm just like, whoa!
I take the decanter out of my backpack, hold it towards him, and scream, "Stream!" to get a whole gallon of water to just dump on his face.
The water just straight at you.
I guess I'd just start washing myself then.
And then I put it back in my backpack, and I drop it on the ground, because there's no time to put it away right now. I aggressively walk out to him and pin him against the wall.
Make a strength check.
Strength check.
And then you can make one too.
3!
Just strength. No.
I got a nat 1.
So as you come angrily running towards him,
That's amazing.
and you kind of slip
gotta
on the
see
water
it.
that you just created. And so you start losing your footing as you're walking across to him.
No.
But the momentum actually works in your favor as he goes to brace himself and also slips, and you fall forward at the same time and shove him up against the wall.
You lied to me about Maria.
Lie? I didn't lie.
She was not with Wilhelm at all.
She wasn't?
Ingrid showed up this morning. She was with her the whole evening.
Well, what are you so mad at me for? She was safe the whole time. That was the point.
You lied to me, Varys.
Definitely wasn't the first time, and it's not going to be the last. I don't know what you're so upset about.
You admit that you've lied to me in the past and will continue to do so.
Hey,
Why will I ever trust you again?
I was just trying to get some sleep. I'm very sensitive, you know. I need peace and quiet, and you were storming around all night.
I push harder against him.
I'm sorry.
Tread lightly. You're on thin ice as it is. And as I release, I'll kind of push him aside and walk away.
Okay.
Pick up my decanter as I walk out.
And dramatically fall.
Put it back in my backpack. I'm not happy.
Okay.
Can't believe you would disrespect the king like that.
He's not the king!
Well, he's dressed like one.
Nope.
He's in a castle.
He's dressed like a weird pimp.
He must be important.
This is not a castle. It's just a keep.
That's like a small castle.
We don't even have a tower.
Well, I'm building one, so...
So there's only like 3 possibilities for me. King, pimp, and like side action for whoever owns this place.
I mean, it's the champion abandons keep.
Yep.
So, tread lightly, side piece. I'm angry.
Okay.
I get on patches and ride out.
Where?
Right out of the city.
Okay. Okay.
I'm angry.
Okay.
Just barebacking it the whole time. Don't even have a saddle for him. Oh, wild woman. It's fine.
No? Start to ponder the mirror's reflection and what it showed you.
I sure do. I can't trust them at all. I tell Patches.
So what are the like surroundings? Like, I take it that we're on like a hill of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And are there any like wooded areas next to where we're at?
So your keep overlooks the entire city. You see, not from like a really high up point of view, but you can look out from your front door essentially and see the whole city. You can also go around to the back where the courtyard is, and you can see the port below you as well. So you're kind of above everything.
I wanted so badly to go to some forested area to go and find some fruits as an apology to my friend, because I know she's an outdoors person, and
I did like going into Jahane's house with a fruit.
this is my
That's
quest
what we
for the
need.
day. Before we do anything or take off in that airship, I head out into the woods.
We need a table and chairs and bowl of fruit at all times.
That's up to you.
Bowl of fruit.
I'm in my armor and everything, but for the next 45 minutes, it just appears like I'm walking around in that robe I described barefoot,
Okay.
but not really barefoot.
Alright. Well, it's about a 20-minute walk from your keep to the city. It's pretty far out. It's kind of your own piece of land that belongs to you guys. So you make your way to the city, and this is around the time people are waking up anyways, and so a lot of shops are being set up, and you have no trouble finding fruit. There's lots of different vendors who are offering fruit and vegetables and little knickknacks and things like that. Just little small like carvings of things, or
I would like to look for somebody who's specifically selling both grapes and apples.
easily found. You can throw a stone and you see 4 different people selling just those things. It's kind of a farmer's market.
I take my time examining the grapes and the apples to make sure that they are of a fine quality and don't have any like worms inside of the apples or anything like that. And
Kind of give it some soft
grapes-
squeezes and
the grapes, yeah, when I squeeze the grapes, they don't just like.
The first one you do just does just that. It's kind of, and the vendor looks at you and is like, "Hey,
Oh, sorry about that. Checking the firmness, and that seems to be quite soft. It was very unexpected. Got any firm ones?
ooh,
Ones that aren't going to explode if I barely squeeze them.
Do you have what is there?
We like things hard around here.
Not interested in his weak grapes.
Your grape game is weak.
I look for more firm grapes.
The second slot you got has very firm grapes, unexpectedly firm.
What color are they?
They are kind of a pale, like white color, but they are starting to turn purple.
I see. Do I know if these are ripe?
2 for
Make a nature check.
It's like holding on. Underdone.
18.
Overdone.
Pretty sure these aren't ripe yet. Give it a few days, they'd be ready, but right now, they'd be really tough to chew and pretty sour.
I'm gonna pass on these ones.
Okay.
I'm also looking for apples at the same time.
Yeah.
Specifically red ones.
Okay.
Red ones are the best.
Okay.
The worst kind of apple.
Nope. They're the best.
Are you a Granny Smith kind of person?
If I had to choose between the two, yes.
Do you manage to find
That
3
food cheese, man.
kind of perfectly
That wasn't an
spherical,
option.
no scuffs or marks on them, and feel firm in your hand? And
So it'd be like either a delicious
Perfectly red
red
apples.
or a
3
Granny
of
Smith
those.
green. You'd go for the sour.
It seems like it.
Yeah, just between the two.
And he goes, it will be
I
2
prefer
silver pieces
something
for
in the
those.
middle.
I give him 1 platinum piece.
Understand?
He stares at you
That's a
in
lot,
disbelief.
You don't happen to sell grapes as well, do you?
It's like as much as he made in a year.
And he just dumbfoundedly points to his grapes. He's selling green grapes.
Oh, I buy them without checking them. I assume that will cover this as well.
Yes, more than enough.
Alright, thank you. Have a wonderful morning, and I take off.
You start hearing people whisper, "Did you see the strange man on the road?"
Such an eccentric man.
It's around this time walking back to the keep that your disguise fades off.
Mm-hmm. Head back to the keep.
Okay. Ethan, what are you doing while this happens?
I've wandered down into town looking for the most ornate pipe I can find. Decided Ithlin is going to take up smoking a pipe.
Nice.
Oh.
He needs something to do when he's just
You and
sitting
Ferris
there
can do
not
it
being
together.
helpful.
Ferris knows all about pipes.
And smoking.
Yes, you actually find the very pipe salesman that forged Varys' pipe for him.
Oh my.
Kind of this older looking gentleman, and he's just kind of sitting there cross-legged. He's got a shirt on and a vest over it, and some kind of like past his knees pants, and some kind of like slipper looking shoes on. He's kind of just sitting there on a towel or a blanket of some kind.
A towel.
And he's just smoking a pipe.
Smoking the dupes.
And he's also in the town square, or in the market area where Varys just was.
Mm-hmm. What does he have, like, out, like his wares? Like, what do I see?
So far he has nothing in front of him. He's just sitting there cross-legged, smoking.
So he would appear to just be a man smoking
Yes.
a pipe?
Yeah.
So I'd have no way of knowing that he could sell me a pipe?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're telling me?
Aside from
I-
the beautiful pipe he's smoking.
It is a fine piece he's smoking from.
I walk up to him and I say, "Excuse me, where did you come by that pipe?"
This one?
Yes.
Oh, I made it.
I made it.
Really?
Oh, yes. That's what I do. I make pipes.
Oh, really? Could I perhaps purchase one?
Are you looking for something custom made? I made a shark one not too long ago.
A what?
A shark.
It looks like a shark.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like the ocean.
I got others. I can also make you custom one if you like.
How long would it take?
About a week, probably.
I don't know if I have a week. Might I see what you already have on hand?
Puts the pipe in his mouth and he holds it there while he kind of grabs behind him this silk wrapped up blanket and he kind of lays it out in front of you. And there are 4 currently on there. One is kind of a perfectly white, kind of stone colored pipe, and this one has different just carvings throughout it, just kind of swirl and mix and intermingle at the end, and it just looks really finely detailed. Nothing in particular, just very finely detailed. And he points at this one and he goes, "This is from the bone of a giant. Now here is a right bugger, knows quite to kill him, but I made a good pipe." And another one is the opposite of that, completely onyx colored. And this one has little skulls kind of carved into it. And then down at the very end of it where you put your tobacco or whatever you're smoking is a skeleton, just a skull.
Nice.
He goes, "I don't rightly know where this came from, but sturdy, won't break." And he kind of grabs it and taps it on the concrete.
Interesting.
The other one is made of some kind of reddish kind of brown wood and just has gold kind of rings around from the stem all the way down to the part itself that holds your tobacco. And then the 4th one is just, it's also made of wood and just a very kind of dyed black, just plain piece.
Interesting.
As you can see, I've got everything you could want.
What do you want for the white and the black one? The first 2 you showed me.
I get 50 gold pieces for both of them. Each. Sorry, not both of them.
100 total.
Yes.
It's a deal.
And he grabs a nice colored red kind of silk cloth and he wraps them up into it and he holds them out to you and kind of pulls them back until you hold out the money.
Yeah, and I pay him.
Okay. Once so he lets you have it and he goes, "Will there be anything else?"
Where would I acquire something to smoke?
And he pulls out a box and he opens it up and there's 3 different pouches in it. What kind of thing you looking to smoke?
I'm not sure.
This one will make you see funny things.
Oh.
Yes. Is it cactus?
I can only hope.
This one will make you see funny things. This one here will make you sleepy. And this one here will give you lots of energy.
Ooh. Energy boost.
I'll have all 3.
Wonderful. This is it's 15 gold pieces for each pouch.
Alright. I have now handed him 145 gold.
Can't open it.
Oh, did you want that?
Oh. Here, okay.
It's in this cup.
I can tell. That's really good. So you two acquire your market purchases. How long do you ride pouches and how far?
Pouches.
Pouches.
I ride the pouches. I feel like that's what this one's gonna be saying soon. Ride in the pouches.
Maybe. You never know, man.
Probably like a good 30 minutes outside of town. So we're just eventually I just kinda get off and just kinda sit. He'll lay unless he sits. I don't know. He's kinda cool. I'm kinda just having this conversation with Patches, but just talking to myself, really, about what I saw in the mirror and the fact that Vera said that he has lied to me in the past and that this won't be his last time lying to me. It just reinforces the idea that they're going to betray me, or that they're currently betraying me and I just don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of having this battle of, I thought they were like on my side, like my companions, and there's this possibility that they've been lying and lying to me this whole time and doing things behind my back, and that I don't understand the full like what's going on with the mirror, so I can't wholly trust the mirror, but I also can't wholly trust Ithlin or Varys. So I feel like I'm kind of back where I started, of not knowing who to trust and being very defensive about what I do and
Okay.
what I do around
She just
people.
looks at you with like a blank horse stare, and he's just, "Ooh."
Yeah. I knew you'd get it.
Starts eating some of the grass.
I just kind of pet him. Well, Patches, even though you're a fantastic listener, I do have to face reality and head back. And sadly, probably swallow my pride to make sure that you're well taken care of when I leave. So, I get back on Patches and we ride back to the stables.
Okay. Which stables?
Nasty.
Okay. You come trotting up, and he just kind of leans against, he's currently shoveling some hay with a pitchfork, and he kind of puts it in the ground, leans on it, and he says, well, 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 look who's back.
I hate this guy. Yes, I'm back. Such a bad taste in my mouth. I hate this guy. You have done a fine job caring for Patches thus far. I did notice that when I had him at my keep, he quite enjoyed the open space to roam. So I will offer 60 gold a month for you and your apprentice to care for him at my keep. So he still has his space.
My mom always said, let what happened yesterday lie there. So, I'm afraid that was yesterday's price. I'll do it for 100 gold pieces now.
50 back was
I knew it. The shady guy.
Well, we defeated 2 dragons in a month. So I feel like we could be back. And my help wanted posters will still be up. I have no other options at this point. My persuasion's trash. Very well. I
If only
agree.
somebody trustworthy to come and negotiate for you.
Fuck you. I agree to your 100 gold a month.
Up front, it's the first month. And he kind of just holds out his hand.
Alright, I reach into my bag of holding and I pull out 100 gold pieces. I hold them over his hand and make very distinct eye contact with him and say, I still expect Patches to get the full care he deserves.
He smirks at you.
I am the captain. I give him the 100 gold.
Okay. He goes, boy! Get a wagon ready. Taking a little trip. And he starts loading feed and hay and things into a wagon to take up to the keep. looks like Michael's face.
What?
So, is there anything else you guys would like to do in the meantime?
I want to go buy a keg of like liquor or something so I can drink
Okay.
when we're at the keep.
Okay. There are a variety of inns to choose from, including your guys' as usual.
I head there.
Yeah, and he sees you, goes,
What's it called again?
I don't remember.
Is this our something dragon?
Yeah, something dragon. I can't remember what
The something dragon.
Oh, the sleeping dragon, that's what it was, yeah. Sleeping Dragon Inn, yeah. So he sees you and he goes, Ithlin. The usual, I presume, and he starts pulling off a bottle of wine from behind the counter and uncorking it.
Is this the cactus one? No.
No, that was in
That was in the
different-
desert, huh?
Yeah.
I still have
Yeah.
a bottle of that.
Oh, man.
I nod and then I inquire about.
Don't peer pressure me.
I nod and then I inquire about, like, purchasing a keg of something.
Oh, of course. There's your standard, the 5 gold pieces keg. The larger one, he kind of points and says 20, and he goes, this one, and it's bigger than you in the back, and he's like, this one's 100.
What's in that one?
No, I don't rightly know what's in it, but it comes from dwarves up on Carn's Edge.
Can I try a glass of it before I buy the whole thing?
Oh, and he fills you a stein full of it and gives it to you. And he goes, now this one's pretty rare. Them dwarves haven't been active in some time, so there's not too much of this left.
And I try it. What does it taste like?
You definitely get hints of dirt in it, but once you get past the dirt taste, it's a really smooth, kind of amberish ale. But then once you swallow it, your whole body just goes numb, and your throat's kind of on fire momentarily, and it kind of like spreads down through your chest as you drink it.
Wow. I purchased the keg.
The largest one?
Yes.
Okay.
Of the dwarf stuff.
It's called Over the Carn's Edge Ale. So I'll have this delivered to your finest home up on the hill there by the end of the day, no less.
Thank you. It's called what?
Over the Edge. Over the Edge. Over the Carn's Edge. There we go.
Karn?
Yeah. Karns. Over the Carn's Edge Ale.
Alright, very good.
And you go, saddle up, boys. We got a delivery. I want that secured in the next hour. And, 2 of the people currently serving ale and kind of washing dishes. They kind of nod and put the dishes in the sink and start grabbing some straps and start picking on them. I'm kind of wheeling it over. And Varys, is there anything you'd like to be doing?
I'm waiting for Alexia to arrive at the keep.
Okay. So for the sake of brevity, you guys probably show up around the same time then.
Oh, there you are.
What do you want first?
Here. I have a shit ton of fruit.
What am I supposed to do with this?
I believe you're supposed to eat it, but this is a small apology for earlier.
That's supposed to make everything better.
It's a start.
I slap it out of his hands and walk away.
Oh. Wooden bowl kind of clatters to the ground, and grapes and apples kind of roll away.
I pick up one of the apples
Okay.
and I wipe the dirt off of it on my shirt. Just clean it up and eat breakfast.
Yeah, it's quite fresh. It's that perfect level of just a hint of sour at the end, but sweet all the entire time.
Nice.
Does that mean I was drinking liquor for breakfast?
I assume so.
Oh, very well then. I'm fully committed at this
The
point.
usual.
Oh,
Make a constitution check.
Oh yeah.
after slapping the bowl out of his hand, I head to the sleepy dragon for food. Because I don't accept her as his food.
13.
13?
Yeah, not very good.
That chest kind of tingly warmth kind of spreads throughout your entire body after a while.
Oh, I keep drinking.
Okay. Alexia, you find Edlin teetering on his stool in the inn. Tavern. Hey.
What's up?
Like I said, you find Edlin teetering on his stool when you walk into the Sleeping Dragon.
I
I'd
pay
also
him no
like
mind.
to,
I find a corner table by myself.
What do you say?
I would like to go with Alexia to the tavern just to tell her that we should probably leave today. So to hurry up, and I'll be waiting on the ship. Then I'll go and head to the ship.
Why not go find Maria and then head to the ship with her?
I do that.
Okay.
I finished my breakfast alone in a dark corner.
I desperately try to remember where Ingrid lives.
Well, you knew she was staying with Sawyer and Maria at the time, but the Do-It-To-Hand household is vacant, so you don't actually know where she ever lived.
I begin knocking on everyone's door and inquiring on where Ingrid is, or if they know who Ingrid is.
They just kind of eye you like, what? Don't you have a job or something to do?
No, I'm too rich for that. I have nothing better to do but go around to random people's houses asking if they know this Ingrid person.
Takes you most of the day, but you make your way through the city and you find one of the more smaller upper class homes on the opposite side where Sawyer lived. And finally you knock on the door and Ingrid answers.
Ah, I finally found you.
And why were you looking for me, Varys?
I'm here for the girl.
The girl.
Yes.
And what are your intentions?
My intentions are to allow her to follow her destiny as she claims. A calling.
If anything happens to the girl on your hands,
Believe me, I'll feel terrible, but she seems to have come to terms with what could happen. It's not like any of us could stop her from doing what she wants.
as terrible as you think you'll feel, I'll make you feel worse. I promise you that.
Sure you will.
Come. She's upstairs, and she just motions to the small stairway.
I head up the stairs.
The door at the far end of the room, it's only 2 different bedrooms. And what seems to be a small storage closet. The one at the far end is ajar.
Well, one of them is ajar, the other one's a door. So I go through the door.
Well, the door is not ajar, it is closed.
Oh. Then I want to go and inspect the ajar door.
Okay.
I just like poke my head in. Is she just like in there sleeping or something?
No, so she is currently getting dressed. And she's just kind of putting some robes on. She's got her underclothing on, but she's putting her robes on. And you see all along her arm, and it seems to kind of be around her torso as well, just bandages all the way up her arm and kind of leading into her torso. And you can see it poking out on her neck between her shirt before she covers it with a robe.
We're going to be leaving soon. I hope you're ready.
She's like, don't you ever knock? She kind of just forces the door closed.
The door was open. Didn't seem like there was a reason to knock.
You say to a closed door?
Yeah. Like roll my eyes and knock.
When it opens again, she's there, and she says, it's too late now, and she just walks past you.
Just like sigh and go after her.
Okay.
I escort her back to the ship, but before we go to the ship, I ask her, have you eaten anything yet? Did Ingrid feed you?
Ingrid goes, yes, I fed the girl. And Maria walks to the door, she turns around, she just looks there, and she goes, thank you for taking care of me. And then she leaves.
I think that's the nicest thing she's ever said to anybody. Very lucky. And I walk out with her.
She was such a sweet girl, I don't know what happened.
I believe they get like this at this age, when they quickly leave.
Alright.
Did I notice Alexia walk in?
Make a perception check, and I'll say with disadvantage, since you are drunk.
Nice. Well, I hope I succeed.
She's like been sitting next to you the whole time talking to you, but you have like the drunk like noise filters. Like, don't notice her.
Oh, a 10.
Yeah, you don't even hear the door open when it does.
Damn it. Oh, there goes my plan. I continue drinking.
She's not actively stealthing, so you don't notice her when she walks in, but after a few rounds, I mean, I'm sure you kind of head swivel and you see her there in the corner eventually.
I kind of brace myself against the bar as I like swivel slightly and just kind of like look over at her. Alexia, would you like to have breakfast with me?
I pretend not to hear him. Because whatever noises are coming from his direction are gross.
You figure she must not have heard you.
I motion at the barkeep and I order some food, and I order like that breakfast you make for like a small child where you make like 2 eggs and like a piece of bacon and like a smile. And like,
Oh, smile face.
this is for that she-elf over in the corner over there.
He just winks at you with his eye.
Better correct him on that wink, bro.
I'm like drunk.
And
He's just like,
before long, the bartender himself comes out with a plate of eggs and the bacon smiley face and goes, it's from that gentleman over there. And he points at Ethlyn, who's currently wobbling on a stool.
I take the bacon, turn it into a frowny face and send it back.
Oh.
Kind of puts it in front of you and he goes, I don't think it works. Don't worry though, women are fickle. She'll come around. She's been coming in here for quite some time.
I look down at the breakfast. I guess it's just you and me, and I keep drinking.
Nice cold plate of eggs forms after a while. With a bacon frowny face.
Yep.
Alright. Is there anything else after a while?
No. I think I'll finish eating, go back to the keep, make sure I have all my stuff, and then head to the airship.
Okay.
But before I leave the tavern, I go over to Ithan. No, I don't even talk to Ithan. I just go up to the bar next to him, to the barkeep, to start sobering him up, because we have a quest, and I expect to see him at the airship in an hour. And then I leave.
You're not quite sure if he's talking to you or the bacon frowny face.
Is he serving you some coffee?
He was using tea. It's the Dark Ages, so it's really, really brisk tea.
Oh.
It's more bitter than anything.
Oh.
It really is the equivalent of you just put some leaves in a glass and poured hot water on it, and he's like, tea, here you go.
Nice.
And it's just bitter tea, leaf water.
That's good.
But it gets the job done after a little while. You're still wobbly and starting to get to that point where you're seeing double, like, kind of focus in and out, but you can walk.
Alright. I eat the cold piece of bacon and then walk away.
Alright. When you guys are at the airship, Maria and Varys have been there for quite some time.
There's something I wanted to do before they arrive.
No, okay.
While they're doing their thing at the tavern, I want to be about a good football field length away from the airship. I'm going to try and figure out what else this harp can do.
Okay.
I'm going to start playing music on it.
Make an Arcana check.
Not 100% sure what else it can do, but the last time I played it, it let me change the weather, so I don't want to accidentally like call down lightning and kill people that are around me. Ooh. 6.
6?
That's right.
You kind of close your eyes and take a breath and start focusing on it, and you play one string, just twang. It just sounds awful to you.
Resisting me today, I see.
Did you add your charisma modifier to it?
Was I supposed to?
Yeah, you get to add your charisma modifier, just like last time to it.
Oh. Then that would have been 12.
12? With a 12, it's a little bit different. It sounds okay, but it's kind of just a... You start playing the song and you realize you do know the song. You've played it before, and so you're more so playing the harp than playing with the harp at this point. And you realize that any kind of like magical connection you're feeling to it currently is just because it's attuned to you currently, rather than actually learning what it can do.
Interesting. But that's all I'm doing while I wait for them.
You have time. You can go ahead and make another Arcana check if you like.
12.
12?
Again.
Yeah, it's just not letting any of its secrets go this time.
Well, I don't want to mess with it anymore, playing with it, but I do kind of like want to like hold it and like just kind of like look over it and see like maybe if there's like something I missed. Because all I've been doing is playing. I haven't actually like looked at it, seen maybe if there's any like writing on it or anything?
No writing, but just a refresher on what it looks like. It is a golden harp, and the back end of it kind of spreads into a wing pattern that's kind of spread at the top, and then as it goes down, there are these intricate kind of swirl patterns all around it, and the strings themselves look like they're also made of gold.
I just sit there stroking my beard like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just... pondering.
Okay.
That's all.
Yep. Wilhelm begins telling you the course that he plans to take. He kind of pulls out this really large map of the country, pretty much, and he goes, and so we're here, flying north, directly past Falgard will eventually take us to the Abyssal's Edge. As I said, we can't fly directly into it, but plan to drop you off here. And he points at a spot, looks to be like probably a good few thousand feet away from it.
On his map, is it like a detailed map that shows like towns and cities and stuff?
Somewhat, yeah. There's a lot of territory that's uncharted, and there's a few cities in Banyang that you recognize as you've been there, but there's a much larger part of that continent that it's unmarked and has little question marks next to like what the name might be.
Yeah, this sounds pretty good so far. Just have to make sure we stop in Falgard first. Go and pick up some. Go and pick up a crew and then continue north. I give him the double thumbs up approval of the plan.
Okay. It's around this time that Alexia arrives. And then about 30 minutes later, that one also arrives.
What's wrong with him?
Who?
The guy that seems to be on a ship but isn't on a ship.
Ithlin?
Yeah.
Oh, he's drunk.
Really? It's not even... The sun isn't even at its highest point yet in the day. He's already drunk?
He does what he wants.
Was he drinking beforehand? Like, is he drunk from last night?
Don't know, don't care. I walk away.
I go and I help Ithlin onto the ship.
As I'm trying to like climb over the side.
Completely
like
avoiding like the
climbing.
ladder that is there.
Yeah.
Kind of like you stepped up halfway through the ladder and started grabbing the rail of the ship and started pulling yourself up that way.
Yeah.
I had a few drinks at the tavern, I see.
Well, I had to have breakfast.
Breakfast involves getting shit-faced?
Well, you see, I had to buy a keg for the keep, and I had to sample it, of course, and one thing led to another, and...
You don't do anything with the cake.
It'll be delivered there. There's no one to sign for it.
You're just gonna drop it off.
Yeah.
And all those orphans you hired to take care of your horse, you're gonna drink it all.
Well,
Yeah, what's his name's gonna show up and be like, oh, here's more payment.
why don't you go and sleep that off, and we'll come and get you when we arrive in Falgard.
I take his advice. That sounds good to me.
Okay. With nothing else to do, the ship roars to life
Is Maria
again.
here?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
The ship kind of roars to life, and you feel the whole area just. You feel it come alive, just vroom, as it starts to levitate, and starts to shake, and then it stabilizes out, and it's sturdy again, and it's almost like you're not on the ship at all. It's just so perfectly still. And as you begin to fly, it's again astounding how something that takes more than a few days, almost a week, to get to from Aria took only about a day and a half. Flying from this position to Fallguard, which would normally be a few days on the water, you guys arrive in 6 hours. And so the sun is definitely starting to fall at this point. It's still out briefly. It's more like dusk now. You can still see bits and pieces of the sun, but it's starting to descend fast.
Nice. So we're in Fallguard now?
You can see it on the horizon. There. Wilhelm goes, I don't think there's a place we can put her down at, so... you may have to go down without us.
Could be fine. The question is, how are we going to get back up?
It says, well, we can hover above the water and you can take a ship out if you want.
I see. Guess we'll have to do that then.
So, kind of lands on like a large, just kind of splash after a while. It kind of lands in the water. Because it was a ship after all. I mean, I made it fly, but you know, it was a ship originally.
Couldn't he just pull into port then?
It's massive. This thing's easily 2 to 3 times bigger than a normal ship.
Well then.
Are there dinghies on it?
Well, I'm looking at you. Care to deploy the dinghy?
Do you have to deploy our dinghy?
Yeah.
Alright. Figure out where it is.
While we do that, we're going to take a short break because I have to go to the bathroom really bad. So we'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes, and yeah. Alright, you're back, guys. So, for the sake of brevity, as you pull out the foldable ship, you speak the command word and it turns into a little raft. Rowboat. And it only takes you about 15 minutes to paddle to shore. And it's relatively close. People have already started to gather around the dock, though. As they see that massive ship, and they're like, "Do you see that?"
No. See what?
One of them turns to you and goes, "It's the biggest boat I've ever seen."
And?
But you came from that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's quite impressive, isn't it? It's a
What about it?
new invention somebody made. Maybe in the next 10 to 20 years, it'll be the standard of how people get around.
Well, I mean, sure, it's big, but I don't see the point in it, really. Could fit a little fish on there, though.
Could indeed. Could make it so that fishing trips can stay out longer and bring back more money that way. Anywho, we're actually looking for a crew to work a different ship that we have. Do you know of anybody that'd be interested in sailing?
To this point, kind of pushing through the crowd, people are like, "Oh, watch where you're going!" And you see the crowd start to depart, and you see good old Uncle Anton comes through and he goes, "Virus!"
Uncle, good to see you.
And he come over and he kind of wraps his arm around your neck and he goes, "Do you see that massive ship out there?"
I do. I came here in that.
Well, look at you. No longer a little scrapper.
That's right. I'm not here to stay for very long, unfortunately. I'm here to just hire a crew and then be on my way. I have some important things to be doing.
I mean, you know, I used to be a sailor. Consider me hired. It will include money and booze, right?
Money, yes. I'm not entirely sure about the booze situation, but...
No booze.
Do you know anybody about 6 or 7 more people that'd be willing to go sailing up north?
So at this point, you see... What was his name? Captain Duskin.
Captain Duskin.
He also starts pushing his way past the crowds. He's coming down from his boat that's currently parked in the harbor. And he starts coming down and he goes, "Wow, isn't my favorite little smugglers?"
Smugglers. I don't know about that, but it's good to see you again, Captain.
I hear you're looking for a few good men.
Looking for a crew to,
Dude, why not just hire him and his crew and use their boat?
Looking for a crew to, sail north of Fallguard, a place called the Abyss.
Abyssal's Edge.
Abyssal's Edge.
He kind of runs his fingers through his beard and you see some kind of dandruff kind of flake out and
Ew.
some other things. We're not quite sure what it is. Kind of pulls his hands through his beard, his long kind of brownish red beard, and he goes...
True sea dog.
And he goes... "You're joking, right? No one goes past there."
It's not a joke. Pays handsomely, too.
Corn's no good if you're dead.
It's true, but, all of the greatest paydays have to come with a certain amount of risk. I'm looking to pay each man for probably what should be maybe 2 or 3 days max, 100 gold a day.
Generous. But if we're sailing to our deaths, I see no profit in it for me.
Oh, it's more so sailing out to a specific point that somebody will know when we're in the right place, and after that, there's no need to go any further.
Make a persuasion check. And given the magnitude of the situation, Captain Duskin is very familiar with these tales. So do it with disadvantage.
Nice.
Okay, well, 31.
Nice. Can you guarantee the lad's safety?
If they do what we say, yes.
What's your plan exactly? What's out there?
Let's see. You were in town when that dragon attacked, yes?
I heard about it. We had left just a little bit prior.
I see. Well, some of these dragons have popped up around the world and have been causing strange weather phenomenon. There are these crystals that happen to be at the center of these problems that are magic portals to other dimensions in which these dragons reside. We've been going around and slaying these dragons, and usually these dragons are sitting on top of mountains of gold and wealth. Which is how we were able to afford the use of that ship over there, and how I'm able to pay for the men. We have somebody who is very gifted in the art of magic and is able to sense where these crystals are located. We believe one is located north of Falgard in Abyss's Edge, somewhere in the ocean. So once they get a feel for where it's at,
Okay.
then that's as far as we'll need to go.
So it's not just the hell itself you want to travel, but after some beastie as well.
Yep. We've already killed 2 of them. Should only be 2 more left. This one's number 3.
A sailor's call to tent hail. Surely it's suicide. But you've really killed 2 of these beasties. Maybe you're just mad enough to survive it.
Those who survive such dangerous things are usually regarded as legends and heroes, and what better way to get business than to be the legendary Captain Duskin, first man who sailed those waters and lived to tell about it.
Make a persuasion check. Just a straight roll.
32.
At this point, most of his men kind of circle around him as you're telling this story, and he looks around at him and he goes, "Well, what say you lads? Are you a bunch of cowards or are you legends?" And they go, "Yeah!" This looks like you got yourself a crew. But I'm captain. I'm not calling you captain.
Fair enough.
Rude. I'm the
When do we set sail?
What time is it?
Now-ish.
It's
Sort of in a race against time, so
the sun has definitely gone down at this point.
Not now.
the faster we do this, the better.
Can't do anything if it's dark out.
Do you hear them, lads? Wet your whistles and pay your whores. It's time to go.
And we left Maria on the airship.
Yes, we're not like leaving on a boat. We're going to go back to the airship and then fly past Fallguard a little bit and then like land somewhere, right? And then put our boat out in the water and just wave goodbye to our friends as we go out into the ocean. That's what I thought we were gonna do. I'm not entirely sure how far up north we're supposed to go. Are we supposed to go there on boat, or is it like, can we fly like as far north as possible?
Well,
and
Wilhelm said
somewhere?
he could get us like 1,000 feet away.
A few
A
thousand.
few thousand feet.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty.
So how long? So if the sun's already gone down, how long would it take for us to get to where Wilhelm would be able to get us?
Even by airship, he's told you it will take possibly weeks.
Oh, alright, everyone get on the fucking airship then. Let's go. So much figure it'll take a couple days.
Paying him by the day, I guess. Jesus.
I mean, it's essentially the edge of the world, so
So I guess we'll have to leave
it's past
Duskin's
everything.
ship in Fallguard,
I don't think we bought enough food for this.
right?
They have food on the ship.
But do they have enough for the people on the ship plus
There's-
like the 8 people we're bringing with us?
Yes.
Okay.
They have months worth of food stores, so.
Okay. Cool.
Alright, so I assume we'll leave Duskin's ship in port at Fallguard. We'll create our ship. Everyone gets in it. We sail back to the airship. Everyone gets off, and then I climb the ladder with our cube. And then we airship on over.
Okay.
For another couple of weeks, I guess.
He goes, I'm not keen on leaving my ship behind, but I guess it can't be helped.
Do you have like one guy that you could leave to watch it?
I don't take it you've been sailing much, have you?
Nope.
Chances looking bleaker and bleaker.
I'm a warrior, not a sailor.
He kind of rubs his bow and he's like, be back, girl. Since a kinship he has with this bow you have with your horse.
Yeah, but my horse is a living thing. It makes more sense. I do not judge him.
So, leaves a handful of men behind, and he goes, better be still floating when I get back, or I'll take it out of your hides. And then 5 or 7 men, they go, aye, Captain. It'll be ship-shape ready so we can get back, promise?
Is he bringing enough men with us to
He's
sail
bringing
the
half
ship?
his crew, so,
So we could sail the ship with
yes.
Okay. Can't without Uncle Anton.
Then he's like, I was sailing before you were even walking.
Are we taking him with us? Do we need to take him with us?
Varys,
leave
come
him here?
on.
I feel like that's up to Varys.
This
I
is
mean,
a-
if you've got nothing better to do, old man.
He never
It's-
has anything
ah.
better to do. He just drinks all day.
just like we used to pretend back when you were a lad. Want to go into a big adventure.
Indeed.
He's just gonna be drunk and useless the whole time.
Nope. Let us be off then.
I hate Uncle Anton.
Don't worry about it.
Now I look over at Anton very intently. I do recall that upon such a time you had dealings with Vino. No, please, be specific. Have you seen him lately? When we come back here, I might find I have some free time. I might pay him a visit.
Just kind of like, I play cards with them every now and then.
Losing more money to him, huh, Uncle Anton?
Not seen them since you were here last. In fact, I haven't seen him and Goons for a while.
Really? Very well.
Kind of uncorks his flask and takes a sip. Right, well, should we be off then?
Yes.
Indeed.
I initiate fast travel.
Okay. Like I said, it's only about a 15-minute paddle boat there to the ship, or to the docks, and so once you guys invoke the word for the larger ship, it's around roughly the same time once you get the strong wind going, and everyone kind of slowly climbs onto the airship, and Duskin looks at you and he goes, "That was a fine vessel you have. When did you acquire it?"
Talking about our box ship?
Yeah.
Or the airship?
The box ship.
Remember when I told you that those dragons were sitting on mountains of gold and treasure? It was in there.
First thing I'm gonna do with my cut is get a bigger boat than this, and he looks at the airship.
I'd have to take a ride on that someday. Perhaps once all this is over, I could even maybe join your crew for a while.
Varys, you're always welcome, you know that.
Nice.
So once everyone is aboard, Alexei, you climb up with your box. And Wilhelm kind of pulls you three behind and he goes, they certainly look unsavory. Can they be trusted?
I trust them.
And what about that one? And he points at Uncle Anton, who's currently just like taking a drink out of his flask, and he walks into something. He's like, oh, he kind of corks it. And
Don't mind him.
I whisper, keep a close eye on it.
It is a tense voyage for the first couple days, as everyone's getting used to each other, and the engineers who are more in the scientific mind of this particular kind of, sailing a vessel, and salty men of Duskin's crew who are more instinct bound and just men of the sea, and considerably less groomed than the others as well, and hygienic. It's a very tense ride for the first few days, but after a while they find common ground with their love of pseudo-sailing and sailing, and they begin discussing different techniques of, upkeep on their own individual vessels. And after a while, everyone's getting along. After the first day, however, Anton approaches you, Varys, and he goes, I'm a bit dry. I could use it.
I see. Did you try asking around where they keep the food?
It's just food. Apparently no one gets drunk on this bloody thing. No one has a good time.
Perhaps you should go and find my friend Ithlin. He seems to like to drink a lot. He was telling me that he bought a huge keg a couple days ago.
Yes, but he frightens me.
Did you want me to ask him for you?
Varys, I'm a grown man. I don't need you to look after me. But yes, that would be nice if you would.
Right. I will go and find Ithlin. Ithlin. Sober today.
Describe sober.
Have you had any alcohol today? Or eaten anything that'll make you see funny things? Don't think you smoke.
I'm currently smoking a pipe.
Oh, that's you that's smoking that. Interesting. I didn't know that you were a smoker.
It's you with the back in your mouth.
Don't tell me my bad habit has rubbed off on you.
Well, it would just seem to me that with all of the sitting and thinking that I do would help me clear my mind.
I can see that. Anyways, I came to find you because my uncle is in need of some ale or wine or really anything. Do you happen to have anything on you that could keep him occupied?
I didn't actually take booze with me. So I drank a bunch, and then I was forced to be sober.
I see.
So, no. Unfortunately, my revelry was cut short.
Liar, you said you still have a bottle of that cactus wine.
Yeah, that like primo.
It's not cactus wine.
Whatever.
It's like get you shit-faced wine.
That's unfortunate. I suppose I will have to improvise, but thank you for your time.
Placebo effect. Just tell them it's alcohol.
I will go to where they keep the food.
Okay.
I'd like to ask somebody for a bottle. Just any bottle.
I mean, there are cooks running around the galley enough, and they're kind of running around preparing food and getting different things for dinner ready. And you overhear one of the chefs complain that there's no mouths to feed now.
Excuse me, chef.
Kind of looks up at you, this halfling, kind of curly hair peeking out under his hat, and he goes, "Yeah, what is it?"
Do you happen to have any empty bottles lying around that are about the size of a wine bottle?
Do you mean like the wine bottles over there? And he points to the empty ones.
Yes, those. Might I have one of those?
I suppose.
Thank you. I take the wine bottle.
See, this is what I'm talking about. They're weird, right?
I would like to go and fill it with water. Not salt water, but water.
Okay, it's easy enough.
Alright. I would like to... Since water is kind of the color of like vodka, I would like to approach or find Uncle Anton, but like find him from a distance, and then like kind of like make sure like, yeah, that's him, and then prestidigitate the bottle, the water inside of the bottle, to make it taste like vodka.
Okay.
And bring the bottle to him.
Okay.
Ah, I believe I have found some alcohol that will be able to quench your thirst. The little halflings down below gave me this.
They have screamed at me when I went down there.
Yeah. Apparently, they have this thing about reusing bottles. I know it's a wine bottle, but apparently it's vodka.
And he goes, "Fire water."
Yes.
I have not partook in many, many years.
Oh my gosh.
Well, hopefully
It's bad for your health, you know.
Hopefully it does a trick. Here you go.
Seems more about like fireball whiskey. Fire water.
Now then, I must be off. I have some preparations to make.
Yeah. He takes a swig of it and he makes the face and everything. He's like, "Ooh, that makes me feel young again."
If such a thing were to make you feel young, then by all means, enjoy.
He goes, "You always were my favorite nephew, Varys."
Yes, I believe I'm your only nephew.
That doesn't make any less special.
That's right. See you later, Uncle. And I walk away.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do? Yeah?
I'm just smoking.
Okay. Which one are you smoking?
The white one.
Okay. And what herb?
The mellow one.
The mellow one? Okay. You find your body very, very relaxed. Any amount of tension from battle or any old wounds that kind of creep up and cause pain, that just kind of melts away and the soreness is gone.
Nice.
So the journey takes a week and a half via airship, and so you can imagine that would take much longer on boat.
Yeah, it'll take forever.
And you guys see these different sites that can only be read about in books or imagined by storytellers. But once you fly past Falgard, you leave the kind of icy landscape of the north, and the sea kind of mellows out for a while, and for miles and miles and miles just stretches into nothingness as you guys fly over this open ocean. You see all kinds of manners of aquatic wildlife, and as you fly over this huge shadow over the ocean during the sunniest of days, you see these smaller shadows that you can only imagine how big they'd actually be if you were up close, kind of flying underneath of it as well. You, being so high up in the sky, you kind of rise and fall with the sun every day. Not only do you see the light it kind of gives off, but you feel its warmth as it starts to rise. If not for the somber task that was ahead of you, this would be one of the most peaceful things in your life. During nighttime, as you kind of look over the side of the ship, you see the ocean, this perfect reflection of the starry sky above you, and it's almost like you're sailing through the sky.
Nice.
And this carries on for a few days. And after a while, you come into a hotter part of the world, where the weather is not cool, and it's not nearly as drastic as Banyang was, but it's still warm, and you begin to lament whenever the sun rises, as the moment of the hours of coolness that you had go away as the sun comes up. And what was kind of this peaceful feeling becomes awful after a while, as when the sun rises you feel its extra heat on you and it's miserable for a while. But it makes the nighttime all the sweeter. Finally, you feel like you've come full circle as you begin flying to this. No ice in sight beyond the icebergs down below. No frozen tundra like Falgard is, or snowy mountains in the distance to see. But just pure ice as you fly over and see these huge icebergs kind of jutting out of the ocean. And everyone begins distributing winter wear again as you feel your lips kind of freeze over a little bit with the moisture, whatever moisture they have. You find keeping your eyes open is difficult. You spend most of your time inside as any moisture that is anywhere on you kind of chills and turns into kind of frost. And you spend several days going through this weather as well, and you see no aquatic life at all. The ocean is still, but like glass, the reflection it has, it's almost like glass. And after a while, you see the icebergs jutting out of the ground, and the ocean. It kind of creates these spider-like crackling across the ocean by these icebergs, and it's like glass being pierced by blades. And then finally you exist in this place where it's almost nothingness. It's not really hot, it's not really cold. It's kind of nothing. Even the water kind of loses its shimmer after a while. The sky grows darker and you can't really tell if it's sunny or nighttime. After a while it's just nothing. This kind of constant weather, this constant amount of light. Finally, in the last few days of your journey, you see ahead as everyone jumps up from their cabins and runs to the top of the ship and looks over, and you see this huge black tornado kind of swirling out in the distance. while it looks like weather, it looks like shadow itself kind of swirling around. And the water you see as you look down, it's by it, but almost like it refuses to touch it. And Wilhelm turns back to you all and says, I believe we're here.
Is Maria nearby?
Yeah.
So the tornado's not touching the water?
It doesn't look like it.
What do you feel?
Mostly anxious.
Are we in the right area?
I don't know. I can't just turn it on and off.
I see.
Whatever I feel, it just happens.
Well, it would seem that weather phenomenon over there is definitely strange and reminds me of the tornado created by Andrognir. Perhaps this dragon is of a similar type. Well then, I believe it's time to assemble our crew and to throw out our little ship.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Slight hiccups.
Yeah. So Wilhelm orders the crew to lower the airship, and it kind of lowers down across the water. And the water itself, it has lost its shine and its luster, as I mentioned before. But as you kind of look across it, it kind of seems like you can see just not the shadows of something moving underneath its surface, but just shadows in general seem to just kind of pulsate through the water.
It's creepy. I guess I take the cube out of the backpack and throw it into the water and shout, ship.
Okay. The water breaks as the cube hits it, and then before long it just starts folding mathematically and almost impossibly in these perfect diagonal folds, and it's like he took a piece of paper and folded it millions of times, and somehow it still worked, and the ship beforehand is just there. It kind of dwarfed by the size of the airship, but still kind of sits bobbing next to it.
Is there some sort of plank we can put from the airship to the ship so we can...
Not a plank, but there's a rope ladder you guys have been using, and it kind of lowers down. You're only a few feet above the ship.
Okay. I guess we hop on aboard.
Okay.
So the three of us, Maria and Duskin's men.
Yes. So, majority of you kind of climb down the rope ladder and land on the ship, and with some assistance from Barris, Uncle Anton also makes it onto the ship. But one of Duskin's crew slips and kind of reaches up for the ladder, but too late and misses it and falls just into the water.
Oh, jeez. He's a goner.
Yeah. Do you see nothing below the surface? And the water kind of stills and quiets. And then eventually he breaks surface and... Sorry, I missed my step.
Yes, seems you missed your step, and then I will fetch a rope from somewhere.
Your pack?
Or perhaps on the ship. I assume the ship provides rope when it magically unfolds.
You go to do that, and as you're kind of fishing around your backpack, you see these like shadowy kind of tendrils kind of leap up from the water and wrap around him and pull him under.
Yep, that sounds about right.
That's creepy.
Oh my. That's awkward.
Anton kind of like backs up. I think I left my favorite flask at home. If you just take me back now.
Backing out, are we? Well, if you wanted to go and sit on the other ship, that's fine.
Nope, we're a man short. Anton has to be here to help.
Well, you heard the lady.
Captain Dustin and men take off their hats and hold it there, and they go.
Be sure none of you try and take a swim. You just saw what happened to your friend. No idea what.
When we get back to port, remind me to give his family full wages.
Everyone keep arms and legs inside of the vehicle at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Or the vessel. Everyone to their positions. Captain Duskin, at the helm, please.
You heard her, you bilge rats. Everyone man the sails. We need as much wind out of them as possible. Want eyes on those cannons. Powder nearby. You never know what's going to pop out of these oceans.
Mm-hmm.
Varys runs to a cannon. His favorite place on the ship.
Yep.
Right next to it. Eardrum pressed on the cannon.
So, it's eerie as you guys start sailing forward. And there's no wind, so you are kind of just drifting forward. But as there's no wind, you can definitely feel yourself being pulled towards that shadowy mass ever so slowly. Almost like something's ushering you that way.
I'm now thoroughly uncomfortable.
After a few moments, the mist and spray of the sea envelops the ship as you guys sail forward, and even though you've been sailing for 5 or 10 minutes now, the airship is completely out of sight as you are pulled forward.
Creepy.
Oh man. I just keep an eye on Maria to see if anything happens.
Okay.
For
Keeping an eye out for the tornadoes so that we don't just run into it, and also looking for a crystal.
Who is near Captain Duskin right now along the ship as he's manning the helm? Is anyone by him in particular, or?
I'd actually not be near the
So.
cannons, but like the old position that I had when we did this a while ago was to man the sails, so I'm just chilling out over there.
You find most of the work is done for you. As I said, there's no wind, but you're pulled forward nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm still just like kind of hanging out in that area, just looking around.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
No one's near Captain Duskin.
Alright, well then he's the only one who's to make a check. Natural 20. Wow.
Bastard.
Alright, well.
There we go.
It's quiet, and you've sailed on ships before, and usually when it's this quiet, you always have the gentle whoosh, whoosh, whoosh of the waves kind of washing against the ship, but there's no sound. And as you look overboard, what you can see from the mist itself is that even the water seems stagnant, and yet you're clearly going forward, though. The only break in the water is whatever break your ship creates. And after a while, the men kind of look at you, Varys, as you're near there, and they kind of just drop the rope, and the sails remain how they are, and nothing happens, and they just, huh. That's either good or bad, I'm not sure. And several of the men are kind of leaning against the cannons, and they're like shaking with the flint and steel, and there's and what breaks the silence eventually is Captain Duskin yelling, "Brace yourself!" And you hear as a cannonball launches itself into the side of the ship, and the whole ship rocks back and forth.
What? Like someone is shooting at us?
And out of the mist, you see this kind of
Pirates.
ship that's made more so with black wood and kind of gold adorned. And kind of standing next to the captain of the helm is Lawless with the spear out. And you see them as they kind of come up next to you, and they're lighting the cannons, ready to fire again. And so we're going to pick it up next week, guys.
This guy.
Alright.
So,
That's what it was.
thank you for watching. Don't really know what to say. Thank you for watching, seriously. If you are new to the stream, as always, you can catch up on everything we've done on our YouTube channel below. So we put all these episodes every week. It was originally a video kind of stream, but we're kind of switching to a podcast format and see how it looks. If you've been watching this entire time, tell us what you think. Do you like the podcast form? Do you like it without any visuals or kind of just pictures? Let me know. If you are a member of Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to our channel for free every month, which Twitch Prime. So, helps us out, doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a cool way to stay in touch with the channel. So, as usual, we'll see you next week, and yeah. Bye, guys.
Stay nerdy, friends.
Bye.
You said it.
Later.
Because you didn't say it.